Early 1960s transistor radio found in a bag at the thrift store for $6.99. What do you think the chances are that this doesn't have an old battery left in it and it just turns on and works when I put a new battery in it? Probably not likely, but I'll give it a try anyway. It came with the original matching vinyl carrying pouch, so that's nice. But looking closer at this, it's a Japanese market radio. That may look like the old Panasonic logo, but it has Japanese characters on it and the outline of the letter N. That stands for National, the home market name for what we know as Panasonic, made by Matsushita Electric Industrial Company Limited, made in Japan. It's the 6-transistor T53 model. So this is a radio that somebody bought in Japan and then brought over here to the US. The case still fits, and I actually think this is real leather because it has this hide-like backing, and it's still very supple, whereas if this was vinyl, it would have gone rock hard by now. So that's nice. Original leather case. The radio also has a kickstand, and it's surprisingly small for its age. Here it is next to an AM/FM pocket radio from the 90s, which is definitely quite a bit larger. I also noticed that instead of AM on the dial, it says MW, short for medium wave, a terminology we generally do not use here in North America, and it's old enough that instead of kilohertz, it says KC, short for kilocycles. And I didn't notice this at first, but the dial actually has little Conrad triangles on it. You can see one at 640 kilohertz, or what they called kilocycles back then, and another one at 1240 kilocycles. So those were the two emergency broadcast frequencies used back in the 60s during the Cold War era. Here it is in a newspaper ad from December 1962. Panasonic radio model T53. Miniature radio, 6 transistors plus 1 diode. Finest quality made. Lowest price ever. $17.88. And here's something to think about. The original owner of this very likely heard the Beatles for the first time ever on this radio. So let's crack it open and see what kind of horror awaits us. Oh good, nobody left an old battery in there. That's nice. Doesn't even look corroded on the terminals. So this thing is in good condition. Yeah, notice all the Japanese writing in there. So it takes a single 9-volt battery, which was so common back in the 60s and 70s that people used to refer to these as transistor radio batteries. So the new battery is installed. Do we get any signs of life when I turn it on? No. Not even a crackle from the speaker. When that happens, the first thing you want to check is the earphone jack because it contains a muting switch to turn off the built-in speaker when you plug in an earphone, and that switch can get dirty contacts and cause the speaker to be permanently muted even when you don't have an earphone plugged in. So I have this cable connected to some speakers, and I'll try plugging that into the earphone jack and turning it on. Ooh, we do get some signs of life. It's not really tuning in a station, but that's better than what we got before. I sprayed some contact cleaner into the earphone jack, and unfortunately the built-in speaker is still not working, but I switched to a battery-powered speaker, and now it's actually picking up some stations.
Get 30% off, or buy any 3 or more and get a massive 50% off. Choose from over 170...
permanent government there that might be an interest in.
Along with some wicked feedback. I have these clip leads connected to the output of a tape player, and I'm going to touch them to the speaker terminals. And when I do that, we hear music, so the speaker in this radio is working. I just had to bend one of the contacts on the earphone jack, and now the radio's speaker is working again. And when I plug something into the earphone jack, it mutes. So, that's good. It's working again.
Wings News time, 8:30. Good evening, I'm Bud Mishka. It's your chance to see the Drifters live at the Shea Center from Classic Oldies WMTR.
Partly cloudy outside of our Midtown studios right now. I'm Lisa Ritchie. Remember, the news never stops at WABCRadio.com.
No matter where you are,
Belmont, Valentine,
Lake Norman, Lake Wiley,
WBT's loud and clear on 107.9 FM.
news, talk, traffic, weather, sports.
Live and local.
107.9 FM, WBT.
Your city, your station.
WFAD Washington, W283DG Sterling, WTOP-FM HD2 Washington, WWWT-FM HD2 Manassas, WTLP-FM HD2 Braddock Heights, Frederick. Portions pre-recorded. Download the Federal News Network app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Federal News Network.
Crafted by humans, for humans. Nothing artificial about it. WBC, Boston's news radio. Guaranteed human.
And remember, when you're away from your radio, you can still listen to WBZ News Radio on the iHeartRadio app. You can download that right now for free.
And that's it. The circa 1962 Panasonic National Transistor Radio is fixed. You just heard it picking up a bunch of stations from as far away as Charlotte, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., and Boston. And yes, what you saw is true. All I did to this radio is put in a new battery, fix the earphone jack, and clean it up, and it just works. I did not need to replace any capacitors or any other electronic components.
Heated Rivalry averages more than 10.5 million U.S. viewers an episode. SeatGeek reports a rise in game ticket sales and younger, more female NHL fans. I'm Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Now this message, old car giving you problems? Why not donate it? Call 1-877-CARS-4-KIDS today.